Yo, it's Matty D. What is good? So we are breaking news. Joe Biden has admitted to me, this young reporter, getting the scoop. I ran into Joe Biden the other day, last night outside of the quick Chek in New Jersey, or I'm in North Jersey, and I wrote down what I asked him. I asked the VP if he was, former VP, I apologize, and presidential candidate, if he was considering possibly packing the courts if elected. And his answer was interesting. He said to me, young man, Joe Biden has hairy legs. They used to call me hairy legs back in the day. And you would understand if you were by the pool with us. The kids, they used to, and I love kids, they used to pour the water on my leg, and but that was the vice president then stumbled backwards a little bit, took a half a sandwich out of his pocket and began eating it before sobbing a bit, and then asking me why his maid keeps stealing from him. At this point, I said, well, VP Biden, what does that have to do with Amy Coney Barrett's possible? And then he said to me, are you the one who keeps leaving my gate open? Because if you do, the kids next door are going to get into the shed and they're going to hurt themselves. And I said, VP Biden, I think you're deflecting a bit. Can you please answer the question? And he said, oh, I'll answer you, fat, before shaking his fist at me and then asking me why my dog was barking all night, which I was not sure about. The Secret Service then pulled up, tackled me to the ground, and put a blanket over VP Biden, ushering him into a Lincoln blacked out window car. Before he got in the car, though, he did say one thing to me that was rather inspiring. He said, and I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. He said, I'm not sure if I made in my pants. And I didn't know how to take that because the Secret Service guy had his elbow into my spleen really hard, and it could be that he was, because he was smashing my head into the ground, I was rather dazed or out of it. But that really stuck with me. I mean, did he make in his pants? And by the smell, when I had first found him, I would assume yes, he did make in his pants. And hey, we all have bad days. I'm not gonna rip the guy for having the crust around his mouth. I'm not gonna rip the guy because he was chewing nothing over and over again when his teeth fell out. I'm not gonna that doesn't disqualify him from being a VP because he was yelling at a garbage can. I mean, I'm gonna go with him on this one. He answered the question. Now you people know he doesn't want his maid stealing from him. Somebody's got to close the damn gate. And I'm gonna keep the dog from barking. I don't know how he hears it. I mean, we're nowhere near Delaware or Scranton or wherever the fuck that old fart lives. I mean, VP candidate Biden lives. But how he's hearing my goddamn dog is, that takes some skill, right? You can't hear a dog from 2 states away. Most of you can't say that you can do that, can you? All right. So I say the question's answered. Leave the guy alone. Leave him and Officer Harris, President. I mean, Senator Harris, who had a great debate the other day. Oh, she smiles a lot, and that I think she just wants everyone to be happy. She smiles a lot. What's wrong with that? Mike Pence, you know, you can go with the people that want to answer questions, and you can go with the people that want to. God, is that you? Oh, never mind. My neighbor. You know, we've got to. Yeah, you know, you got to ask yourself: you want 4 more years of prosperity and high job growth, and you know, astonishingly low pandemic non-deaths from where the projected numbers, you know, I mean, what did they say? 2 million people were dead, and there's 200,000, even if their number's right. I mean, that's still like what, 10% of what they predicted? You know, how do we know that Joe Biden wasn't going to do 9% of what they predicted? Maybe he would. His plan was exactly like Trump's. So there you go. It would have been the same number, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, yes, they're under President Trump. I have gotten, you know, promoted, and I make more money, and companies that I work for is doing very well. My former significant others was doing very well. I mean, my father was doing, my family, everyone I know has been doing really well, other than my state, but I can't hardly blame. Well, why not? We'll blame President Trump for that too. It's his fault. New Jersey's taxes have been high for the last 40 years and growing ever higher. I mean, New Jersey is yes, it's a very blue state, and it goes blue every fucking election for every single goddamn position except our mayor. But that doesn't mean that it's not Trump's fault. I mean, Trump's been around for 50 years, right? So maybe he was, you know, he lived in New York, which is right next door to New Jersey. So probably what he was doing was he was coming over here and sabotaging New Jersey. Yep. And then what would happen was, that's why the taxes are high, and why there's tons of shitty liberal policies that are literally driving everyone I know to move away from here. Literally everyone I know is trying to leave my home state because they can't afford to live here anymore because their fucking taxes are so high. And we were doing pretty good under Chris Christie, who is also evil because he's associated with Trump loosely, so we have to hate him too, I guess, right? Right, my fellow New Jerseyans, who are all moving out of state to other states so they can fuck their political systems up. I mean, spread their blue message. But, you know, other than that, we can't blame Biden, who's been in government for 977 years, for all our problems, and guys like him and crooked fucks that have sold us out to commie countries, to force children to work in slave labor camps for $1 a day and can barely feed themselves, and have to put nets in buildings because people are jumping off of them from being forced to work for Bill Gates' Xbox manufacturing companies. But that's Trump's fault, because, you know, he wants to bring the work here. So I guess he wants us to jump off buildings, right? We build the Xboxes, we'll be jumping off buildings. So that's not Bill Gates' fault, that's Trump's fault. He wants the business to come back here. I guess he wants us all dead, right? You liberal idiots. And what else? I mean, otherwise, New Jersey would be great. It hasn't been declining in business or income, or stagnation between the upper and lower classes, which has become astronomical. I mean, every other town is a rich town or a poor town. You can literally see in North Jersey one town full of $1 million houses, and right next to it a place you can't pay people to live, that are run by drug dealers, demilitarized zones, and fucking crooked politicians who get paid off to look the other way and then run it like their own personal piggy bank, and fuck the people that live there over, who usually wind up becoming dependent on social programs. And that's why this state stays that way, because New Jersey, unfortunately, I'm rambling now. Anyway, I'll do another video on that. But what I was saying was, Joe Biden told me, he didn't say anything about packing the courts, okay? He said something, like I said, I'll reiterate. He told me his maid is stealing from him, okay? And how do we know Amy Coney Barrett wasn't his maid? Do you know that? No. I know that the guy who that was the moderator for one of the debates was his old intern. I mean, I'm sure you guys wouldn't have a problem with that if Trump's former VP of sales at one of his fucking company casinos or something was the moderator of the debate. You guys wouldn't mind that, right? Just like you don't mind that Hunter Biden took millions of dollars in both stock options and direct payments and salary from a company that he literally wouldn't even be able to communicate with due to the fact that he doesn't speak any form of Russian, Ukrainian, whatever, and that his father fired the prosecutor who was investigating the company he got his son a fucking job with. So if Eric Trump got a job from President Trump, yeah, and I said President Trump, not Mr. Trump, like you fucking disrespectful asshole call him. And I didn't vote for the guy. I did not vote for him. I voted for Obama twice, and I voted for Jill Stein last time, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever third-party waste I did. And don't know. Voting third party is not a waste. But I'll reiterate. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Anywho. Okay. I've been going on for a long time now. If anyone's still listening, God bless.